So a lot of people told me that my first video title, Fujifilm autofocus, is a joke. It's clickbait. There are a lot of Fujifilm YouTube channels who receive cameras from Fuji, who receive lenses from Fuji, and they make money. And after every Fujifilm firmware upgrade that contains some minimal autofocus stuff, their title is autofocus improvements. I think that's clickbait. There's a lot of discussion on Fujifilm forums and Facebook groups after my video was shared there, and there are a lot of people who tell me that I don't know how to use the camera, that I'm stupid, that I'm an idiot, that I have to find some settings somewhere, I messed up the camera, that my camera is broken. You know what? I don't care. But let's take a look at the forum I found. So this is a German group. I translated with Google Translate, and this guy started the conversation. And he says that my video is quite polemical and therefore certainly not a reliable source of information. I am not a reliable source of information. But after that, he tries my tests. And guess what? He reproduced every test I made, but not on a Fujifilm XH2s, on a Fujifilm XH2. Same sensor as the XT5, as the X100S II. And his conclusion is, it seems to me as if there's actually a large discrepancy between the display focus indicator and the actual focus point. It seems questionable whether the eye tracking shown is actually being used at all, or whether the camera is actually simply focusing somewhere near the tracking box. And he says, I have already updated my XH2 to firmware 4.0, and unfortunately, I can no longer understand whether this exact problem was there before. So after all, I am a reliable source of information. I am right. Okay, now let's see more tests. So this is continuous autofocus, the same stuff with the hand. If the hand blocks a little bit of the face, it is the same stuff, green box, but the camera focuses on the hand. Let's take a look at the pictures. Blurry eye, hand in focus, blurry eye, hand in focus, blurry eye, hand in focus. But in this situation, the hand was in front of the face. Let's try a situation when nothing is blocking the face. Check this out. Green eye, take a picture. Green eye, take a picture. Green eye, take a picture. Nothing is blocking the face. It's just a lower angle. Green eye, take a picture. And then those are the pictures. The focus is on her lips. The focus is on her lips. On her lips again. The eye is never in focus and nothing is blocking the face. If you stay like this and you want to take a picture, the camera will focus on your chin, on your lips, not on your eye. But it will tell you that it will focus on the eye. Those cameras are broken. Look at this picture. The focus is on her lips. The eye is blurry. Same in this picture. How is this acceptable in 2024 from a $2,500 camera? So basically what I found in continuous autofocus mode or tracking, the eye will almost never be in focus. If you get your eye in focus, you just got lucky, or your aperture is closed down. So the whole face or body is in focus and obviously the eye is in focus. But if you take a picture at 50mm f1.4 from an angle, your eye will never be in focus. And the same behavior happens in movies. Box on the eye, focus on her lips. In single autofocus mode, the camera correctly focuses on the eye. Look at this. It doesn't care about the hand, it doesn't care about the nose, it focuses on the eye. Perfectly focused eye. In single autofocus. Perfectly on the eye. Almost perfectly on the eye. As you can see, it's focused here. But this works. Single autofocus mode works. But why no one is using single autofocus mode? Because when you have pressed the shutter, camera will lock focus and nothing will move inside the lens. And if your subject moves like this far, his eye won't be in focus. Imagine you're a wedding taking pictures. People move, people dance. You can't use single autofocus. Check this out, this is in single autofocus and it is the exact situation I explained you about why you can't use single autofocus. So green eye. Check this out, green eye, but my subject moved a bit. I take a picture. Green box, The box will never move after you have pressed the shutter. This is not in focus because my subject moved a bit. Or I moved a bit. This is focused on the eyebrows, not the eye. Because why? My subject moved a bit. So basically this is how those cameras work now. XH2 and XH2s. I can tell you anything about the XT5 or the X100S. Continuous autofocus or tracking in the XH2 or XH2s is trash. The camera will almost never focus on your subject eye. It will focus on the chin, on the hair, on the nose, but not on the eye. How can you expect to take those cameras on a professional shoot to make pictures or videos for clients? You can't. But hey, I didn't tell you. What is this? Ooh! What is this alien technology? What is this tracking? You are looking through a Sony a6700 with a Fujifilm classic chrome LUT. Okay, this was kind of a short video, and for those guys who are commenting on my videos telling me that my camera is broken or that I don't know how to use my camera, I don't care what you think. I showed you. I showed you facts. I showed you tests. And now I showed you that a lot of people have the same issues. On different camera, XH2 is a totally different camera. And I will leave you with this comparison between an a6700 and an XH2s with the exact same lens. It's a Viltrox 33mm 1.4. Latest firmware on the lens, latest firmware on the cameras. Both cameras set at maximum focus speed and transition.